This is the only video that you need to watch to get in shape in 2025.
I was born basically in freaking gyms. My dad was a drill sergeant, and he showed me physical exercise from a very young age, and he made sure that I did everything I needed to do. And so I'm here to help you, because I know a lot of people never had anybody who showed them shit, and anybody who cared about them or told them that they believed in them. And you know what? I believe in you.
I'm gonna break down a simplified, very easy, concrete strategy to help you get in shape and stay in shape for the rest of your life. Are you ready? Cool, let's dive in. We're gonna be breaking it down into 3 different components. These are the 3 main components I talk about pretty much exclusively. Number 1, nutrition. Number 2, training, exercise. Number 3, recovery, health. We're gonna start things off with nutrition. Really important to start off with nutrition because so many people have a poor foundation for their health, so they can't really create the metabolism that they need to change their body permanently and then be able to enjoy those benefits long-term over time. So starting with nutrition, the number one thing we need to realize is that as a society, we're not inherently underfed, right? Everybody talks about how, oh, I starve myself all day, I barely eat. But the truth is, what they're doing is they're overindulging in carbohydrates with a very protein deficient diet. And so what you're doing is you're creating stores of fat and not supplying adequate protein to build muscle. And this is really what I see to be the most common theme across all low calorie eaters, right? That are like, I barely eat, but they are eating a lot of carbohydrates, very little protein. So even if they are eating a small amount of calories, their body's pretty much turning the metabolism down because they're eating such little calories, and then they're just storing whatever they don't use in that present moment, right? Glucose, they're gonna store it as fat. And so essentially what we need to do is we need to change the foundation for our nutrition in a really simple way. We need to not necessarily get rid of carbohydrates, because carbohydrates aren't bad, but what we need to do is be very conscious of how much carbohydrates we're eating, right? We need to supply that energy when we need energy, or if we need to be in a surplus because we want to create fat stores or we're trying to put on muscle, right? And so we need to have very specific goals and approaches. And so I'm going to try to create this really simple framework for you. Number 1, we do want to focus on calories. What does that even mean? What I'm saying is you can go on the internet, funny little tool that was invented a little while ago, where you go on the internet and you Google calorie calculator, and you go and you type in all your information, and it's going to give you a number. I'd probably go to the low end of that number, and I would say, let's call that your maintenance calories. Essentially, calories are just going to be your energy, but they're broken down into 3 important macronutrients. So you have your protein, you have your carbohydrates, and you have your fats. Essentially, your carbs and fats is the stuff that makes you chunky and fluffy. Your protein is what supplies your energy for muscle building. And so we need to make sure we're having enough protein so that we can build muscle, and then using those energies in the right amounts, right? We talked about calories, how to calculate the calories. Now, what the hell do we do with the calorie number in order to not be protein deficient? So what we have to do is really simple. If I weigh 200 pounds and I want to weigh 150 pounds, my goal weight is 150 pounds. I can eat 150 grams of protein, and that's a super easy goal to set in my mind. It's not a super easy goal to hit, because if you've ever ate 150 to 200 grams of protein a day, you understand that is a large amount of food. And this is the very interesting part of fitness as a whole, is that it's funny because unfit people see fit people like myself, for example, and they see us eating these massive meals and they're like, man, dude, you eat so much food. How can you stay in shape? How do you have the abs? How do you have the... And it's because we focus on protein dense meals. And so we eat in large amounts, but the thing is we're actually supplying our muscles. So we have a healthy metabolism. Goal weight in protein, super freaking simple. What's your goal weight? You want to weigh 150 pounds? Eat your 150 grams of protein. Okay, so 150 times 4, because 1 gram of protein is 4 calories. So 150 times 4, 600. 600 calories out of that number, whatever your calories was. The most important thing is that we need to focus on that protein, because if we hit that protein goal, now the rest we can kind of play with. And you're seeing how we're going to divvy this up? And now, let's get into a real quick anecdote for anybody who wants to lose weight, right? Because that's what the whole point of this video. If you want to lose weight,
Whatever that maintenance number is, you gotta try to stay under it just a smidge while still simultaneously hitting your protein goals. If you can do that, I promise you're gonna start to see that scale chip down, and it might take 1.5 to 2 years, but you're not gonna end up that deflated bag friend that took Ozempic and basically lost 100 pounds in a year and looks like they had the life sucked out of them. No, we're not doing that. We're doing healthy changes. 2025 is a setup, 2026 can be the reap, but I do not like the idea of taking drugs and starving yourself and down-regulating your metabolism in order to lose weight. I'm not a fan. It's really simple. Number one, we calculated our calories. Number two, we understand how much protein we eat. Number three, really simple, we break up the rest into carbohydrates and fats, accounting for either my deficit or my surplus. What does that mean? If you want to lose weight, you need to eat less calories than you burn. And so essentially, if your body burning 2,000 calories a day and they gave you that maintenance number, you have to now eat 1,700 calories, 1,500 calories, but still hit your protein goal. Because now we're under our maintenance calories, which will be to stay the same, right? To not lose or gain weight, right? To stay the same. We're now under that in terms of calories, so we're gonna start to lose weight. But we're eating enough protein to supply muscles so we don't lose muscle in the process. Now, it's more of a long-term sustainable approach. And that's how I like to approach my life. I always like to treat my clients like I treat myself, which is I'm gonna give you a no bullshit, 100% authentic, simple way to do this. Recount. We've got calories, we've got our protein intake, we've got how to divvy up the rest of the calories and carbohydrates and fat, accounting for either my deficit, if I'm trying to lose weight, or my surplus, if I'm trying to gain weight. Something important to touch on is supplementation. I have clients that ask me about, hey, can I do this protein powder and do this and do that? And then that'll be the same person that complains about spending the extra money to get the high quality proteins in order to eat well on a regular basis. If I can get you to do something, it would be to understand that if you can have that daily protein goal come from like real protein, like animal meats, dairies, if you can get at that from like real food, you're gonna be, one, much better off, and two, it's a better way to live your life than opposed to powders and pills and stuff. You don't necessarily have to be drinking protein shakes and eating protein bars and all that. Just eat real food, take a daily multivitamin, and if you need a joint supplement, you can add some of that in. If you're taking any other medication, whatever, according to your doctor, continue to do that. But really, your supplementation should be very simple, very minimal, and a clean-cut process. We've covered the first part of how to establish a foundation for losing weight in 2025, right? Now we're gonna roll into our next thing, which is exercise. And so exercise is really where I specialize. This is my wheelhouse. This is where I love, right? And so I typically make a very simple recommendation that if you're going to exercise, I would say your best bang for your buck exercise is to lift weights. And so if you have no idea how to lift weights, then you should find a trainer, or you should join a gym that mixes in strength training and you can start to learn there. Or you can take the very lengthy, cheap approach that I took, which was YouTube, bodybuilding.com. And this is also, circa the, 2008, 2020, 2009, 2010, like I'm over there in the gym busting out crazy exercise plans that I created on the internet before, there were so many beautiful online coaches and people that were willing to give you crap to do on your own. I mean, the apps and all that shit didn't exist, bro. I figured this shit out on my own. And, I'm trying to tell you, like, it's really simple. Like, you just put together a couple quad workouts and low calves and you got a leg day. You put together a couple bicep workouts and a back workout and, you got a pull day. It's not difficult. I think a lot of you people just want to complicate shit so you don't have to do it. I'm just be honest with you. But anyways, find a trainer, pay the freaking money, man. I mean, a lot of people are so cheap, bro. Like, bro, pay a trainer once a week to come to your house, and it can be life-changing for you. And it might be breaking the bank, but you're committing, you're investing in yourself and kind of your health. I mean, I don't know. I don't see anything more ROI than your freaking health, right? I mean, that's just me thinking about it. But anyways, so 3 to 4 times a week, at least lifting weights. If you don't know how to lift weights, hire a trainer, join a gym, figure it out. YouTube, bodybuilding, just learn. It's important. It'll serve you the rest of your life. So again, you're 3 to 4 times a week of weightlifting, 1 to 2 times a week of some cardio, some light movement, walking, jogging, running, a little cardio circuit in the backyard, in the garage with the kids, whatever it is that you're gonna do, 1 to 2 times a week. Get moving, something smooth for an hour, right? That is it. That's all. That's all you need. For a normal human being, if you're hitting the weights hard, which means progressive overload. So progressive overload is pretty much the core theme of how to build muscle, right? If we're trying to build muscle, the key thing is to just keep getting freaking stronger and provide adequate amounts of protein, which we already talked about. And so what is progressive overload? If I go into the gym and I do 100 pounds of squats, I do 12. And then next week I go in, I do 105 pounds. And then the following week I do 110. And the following week I do 115. And I keep on every week continuing getting stronger. And I'm providing adequate nutrition. And they're high quality reps. And they're under control. And I'm spending time under tension. If I add in all these qualities, I am now creating progressive overload. Which means if I'm supplying adequate amounts of protein, I should build muscle. And so these are the key factors that are going to help you change your metabolism. If you build muscle, you literally will change your physiology. You're going to supercharge your life. Building muscle will supercharge your health. Your skin looks better. Your metabolism is faster. Your digestive system works better. You're able to fight off more disease. Your immune system works better. I mean, just overall, being jacked is a pretty awesome thing. You really ain't got to do a whole lot. I mean, I work out 6-7 times a week for about an hour to 45 minutes to an hour. But that's because I like to move. I got to get the crazy out, man. I just go to the gym and I'm like, argh! So I go in there and I get the crazy out and I work out and I'm able to do it. And it's for me. I'm not trying to get more jacked. I'm very happy with how I look and how I feel, right? But ideally, what we're doing is we're working out to our lifestyle, to our liking. And I'm giving you a very basic recommendation because I'm an expert. This is something I've done for 18 years. I mean, I was born basically in freaking gyms. My dad was a drill sergeant and he showed me physical exercise from a very young age. And he made sure that I did everything I needed to do. And so I'm here to help you because I know a lot of people never had anybody who showed them shit. Anybody who cared about them or told them that they believed in them. And you know what? I believe in you. And I think that you have the opportunity and you can change your life in 2025. And that's why I'm making this freaking stupid video on a freaking Saturday morning with the freaking sun blaring in my face while I'm drinking my morning coffee. Okay? Now we've talked about nutrition. We've talked about exercise. What else do we need to talk about, folks? Let's get real. A lot of you guys have no idea what recovery is. You don't want to stretch, your back hurts, you don't sleep well, right? So those are what I consider to be recovery. Wellness, health, the things beyond me eating my protein and beyond me going to the gym, right? It's what helps me sleep at night. It's what allows me to wake up in the morning refreshed and ready for the next day. Coffee break. I'm a huge caffeine. Oh, okay. All right. Recovery. What are the most important elements? What does it mean? Why is it important? The most important thing that we're going to have to do is sleep. And so between 6 to 8 hours of sleep should be your minimum goal. I know a lot of you young kids, you guys are like, yeah, I'm going home. I'm going to freaking sleep 3 hours a night. No. I did it for a long time and then I blew my freaking shoulder up. My pec came right off the shoulder. And that was probably between the lifting 6 times a week and going crazy and sleeping 3 hours a night and hanging out with a bunch of people and just craziness, man. Don't be crazy. 6 to 8 hours of sleep, light moderation. You want to make sure that you're getting your sleep in. This is when your body's recovering. This is when you're healing. This is when you're repairing muscle. With that in mind, we're getting our 6 to 8 hours of sleep. What's important is quality of sleep. And so what you do leading up to your sleep and what you do directly after your sleep do impact your sleep pretty heavily. And so you need to create a nighttime routine and a morning routine. The nighttime routine is brush your teeth, cut your nails, Q-tip your ears, put your face serums, if you're a chick, right? Whatever it is that you want to do, your hygiene. And then you turn off lights, you bring lights down low. I personally sit with a red light for like a half hour. I'll journal. I'll get my mind out of my head and onto a piece of paper, right? These are all really fantastic ways to start to prepare yourself to go to sleep because you're kind of like getting all that crap out of your brain and allowing yourself to, unwind. And so you can slip into that kind of dream state. If you can, slow down a little bit right before bed, about a half hour to 45 minutes before bed, do your little routine, low light, journal, kind of wind down. That's going to help set you up for sleep. Okay, that's number one, setting yourself up for sleep. Number two is what's your morning routine look like? Do you wake up and immediately jump on your phone, check emails, send back text messages, scroll Instagram, right? Because that's terrible for your mind because now your mind is predicting what's going to happen in the future, right? And so you wake up the next day a little anxious and you go, why am I anxious? Well, because the first thing I do is I wake up and I go on Instagram and I look at the most beautiful freaking people I've ever seen in my life. And I saw that person yesterday and they didn't look half that good yesterday, but damn, I'm looking at them on Instagram now and they look good. You know what I'm saying? It's like we fall into this digital world, this thing right here, dude, this thing right here. It is your greatest tool or your worst enemy. And if you wake up and you start scrolling those social media and sending text messages first thing in the morning, you're really doing a lot of damage to your brain because your brain is predicting things and you have a lot of anxiety in your inbox and you shouldn't start your day with that. And so I really encourage you to make sure that you're creating a little hygiene, sleep hygiene, right? Which is your nighttime routine and then your morning routine, right? You wake up, you give yourself a little bit of water, you don't check your phone. After you drink a little bit of water to get the digestive system going, then you can engage in your coffee, caffeine, whatever it is you want to take, and then we get the day rolling. We got our nighttime routine, we've got our morning routine, everything's in place. We're doing pretty good now, right? We're sleeping well, we're feeling a lot better. What else is in recovery? So there's people who like to stretch, there's people who like to, do soft tissue work, and there's people who like to do yada yada. I like to do a little bit of everything. And so I personally am a huge fan of foam rollers and lacrosse balls and tennis balls and soft tissue work and myofascial release. Foam rolling, we're going to be doing a little bit of light stretching, we're going to do some mobility work. And now these are all terms that are getting thrown around. And so if you don't really understand what I'm saying is that we're going to move our body around in ways that you would consider to be like stretching. And you would consider to be like recovery and rehab, right? And we want to start to implement that stuff on a regular basis, right? For example, I have a client who's always had back pain, and we started lifting and stuff, and he was doing really good, and then he kind of tweaked his back a little bit. But his comeback was much quicker because we implemented a regular stretching routine and a regular foam rolling routine. And now in a week, he made a bounce back as opposed to in a month where he typically would have pulled his back out and been stuck for, a couple months at a time. What's important is to create a comprehensive kind of routine based around your needs, right? I personally do a warm-up routine that builds in all the shoulder health, all the ankle health, all the core and spine health stuff. Because if I build my warm-up around my rehab, what I mean is I take the stuff that I need to work on and I put it into my warm-ups. And when I build the stuff that I need to work on, like my bands, right, for my shoulders or whatever, right, really simple stuff, I take that rehab, prehab stuff and I build it into my warm-up so I do it every day. And then I almost never have to do it. And my body almost never hurts and I always feel good. So this is just a really good way to kind of look at recovery as a whole, right? You make sure you get your sleep, you make sure you're doing your stretching, mobility, whatever, and then you make sure you have a pretty comprehensive warm-up and cool down that includes some of the rehab, prehab stuff that you want to do for your body anyways. I really think that I gave you game. I think I just gave you game. I think I spent the past 20 minutes really just dropping gems on you. And I don't know if this video will get watched once. I don't know if it'll get watched a million times. I don't know if I'm going to upload it on YouTube. I don't even know if I'm going to upload it at all. But I just wanted to take the time to hit record and put something together that was meaningful for me. Because I usually will get so caught up in the oh my God, am I going to sound clean cut? Oh, I'm shirtless. Is that professional? And today I just didn't give a shit. Today I'm just going to be me and I'm just going to tell you what it is and how it is. And it is what it is. I guess subscribe, shoot me a message, comment. Like I said, this was just me talking to you. So, if you are really trying to lose weight in 2025, I encourage you to. 2025 could be your year, but you have to get really serious and you have to make these simple changes. I don't think I discussed anything complex in this video, but I definitely talked about things that are difficult to implement. And really, consistency is the mother of good health. Consistency and simplicity. It's simple so you can be consistent. You're consistent so that you can get results. If you can just follow a very simple formula, then you'll have all the success you want, all the health you want. Just stick with it, right? The key is don't look at the next year, look at the next 10 years. If you don't have 10 years on your life, then you're probably not watching this video. But chances are, if you're watching this video, you have many, 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 many years to come. So it's best to start doing the work now because the time will pass anyways. So why not have the results? Why not have the life? Why not have the look? Why not have the muscles? Why not be jacked or super fit or healthy or hot, fit girl, whatever the hell it is you want out of your life? I just encourage you to chase your dreams, to be a great person, and to always, 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 always keep it simple. Keep it simple. Complexity is the enemy of results. Complexity makes things hard to do, hard to be consistent. Keep it simple, stay consistent, don't go crazy. And if you need absolutely anything, shoot me a message, comment down below. I love you. I hope that you have the best 2025. And again, if nobody watches this, it's okay because I got it out. I love you.